Welcome, everybody. So, tonight I want to start talking about the difference between believing and knowing. And hopefully, you guys can track with this. It's hard to hear, but your believing can take you off base more than it'll bring you to where you want to go. I would say stop believing and start receiving. Stop believing because your belief, first of all, most of the beliefs that I hold in my mind, I've grown up with, were planted there by somebody else. We don't know that. We're not aware of that, but your believing mechanism usually gets co-opted. And people who have a dog in the race could be your parents, your family, your community, your school, your government, the people in power, whoever it is. They have a very deep investment in what you believe, and they start, um, funneling things into your mind for you to believe so that they can move you and direct you in the ways that they want. That's sort of a nice way to put it. Um, now, I would say belief is powerful. I wanted to say belief doesn't matter, but it does matter in a very real sense of the word. Belief makes matter because what you hold in your mind ultimately you generate. And the beliefs that are most powerful, the ones you don't even know you have, they're the ones that are in your subconscious mind in the background. They're running like software or even malware, and you don't realize it's running. We talked about this last time, but attention is the causal power. Where you focus your attention, where attention goes, energy flows. Your creative force moves in the direction of your attention. And so, try to hang in here for a second. But what you believe directs your attention. And most of what we believe, we've been convinced to believe in some way. It's not something we actually thought through a lot. Most of our beliefs were given to us. And even the ones we do choose, they usually come from inaccurate information because most people's consciousness is like this very tiny speck in the grand scheme of things. We're seeing from our perspective. So imagine that there was an abstract piece of art or a sculpture in the middle of a circle of people. You're on one side of the circle, I'm on the other side of the circle. On your side of the circle, you might see a piece of art that looks like um, it's square and it's got sharp edges and it's red and it's green, right? But on my side, I might see something more flowing, more circular. It might be blue and it might be purple, right? From my perspective, I think what I see here is the truth, and I believe this is the truth, and this is the only truth about this thing because this is all I can see on my side. And on your side, you're going to see something opposite. And if I think what you see is wrong, you think what I see is wrong, we're going to polarize, right? And we're going to be in conflict. The truth is, if I stop believing in what I think is right and what I think is the only truth, and the only way to see it is the way I see it, and I'm willing to consider what you see or what you believe or what you think you see and take that in and realize that there's another perspective and there might be something going on that I can't see from my perspective or my point of view. Point of view. I'm at this point and I can only see, a certain way. And I consider yours or someone else's, then I might have a more whole view of what's actually occurring. And the more I'm willing to receive rather than believe, the more likely I'll know the truth. And so, from a limited perspective, from a tiny little point in space and time of our consciousness, it's hard to know the full truth. So, what is actually powerful enough to transform the world, transform your world, and transform the world is knowledge. And knowledge and belief are not the same thing. We think they are. And there are lots of people want to tell you that they are. All the people that wrote the books, the scientists, the priests, the religions, they all have the truth that they want you to believe in, right? I'm not saying there isn't truth in some of that, right? There may well be, but it won't be the whole truth. You have to consider everything. You have to let it all in. And this is what I want you to know. And this is, again, from my personal experience. Um, there's a place within me and a place within you that is true. You come from the truth. You could say God is the truth. The universe is the truth, right? God is knowledge and peace and joy and truth, right? God is power, or the universe is knowledge, truth, joy, peace, power. You come from that. The truth of you is not a body, by the way. The body's an experience you're having. It's not the truth of you. It's part of something you're experiencing. So it's inside your truth, but it's not the truth of you. And so you come from something much greater that isn't limited to this little bag of bones and water. This is an experience of a limitation device, actually. The body is a limitation device. And your senses, the five senses, they're they are limitation devices. They limit what you can take in, right? So you can't get the whole truth. There are sounds your ears don't hear. There are light waves your eyes cannot see, right? There are tastes and smells that a human body can't experience. And so all I'm saying is there's more, I want to say information, but it's more than information. There's more knowledge out there for you if you allow yourself to just receive. There's nothing that can threaten you if you receive another person's perspective or information, read more books, right? Watch alternative news, things that aren't what you would normally watch or see. Let it in, because the truth in you, because you come from the truth, that place in you that is ultimate truth you may not be aware of. When you let stuff in, you let information, you let experiences in, and you consider, you listen and receive all. When you let that in, it'll touch that place in you. Whatever's not true, that place is like Teflon, it'll just slide away. Can't impact you. It can't affect you negatively, can't harm you in any way. Can't do any damage. It'll just either stick because it's true, and truth sticks to truth, and make you more true, more knowledgeable, more aware, more conscious and awake, right? Not woke, awake, if you let it in. But what you resist because you believe something and you're so attached to being right about your belief, that will limit you. That'll block you from knowledge. It'll block you from truth, right? It'll make you um, more rigid and and less accurate. And so I'm saying try this. Try to let go of believing. I don't know, that may sound scary, but let go of your beliefs and consider the possibility that they may be inaccurate, and just start receiving, because it's knowledge that is power, not belief. Belief gives you a type of direction in the world and a type of limited power in the world. But the most powerful you ever be is through knowledge, through knowing. When you hold knowledge in your mind, what you generate in your world will be true. Your purpose will be known. Your truth will expand, right? Belief is very limiting. Now, you can believe in what's true. And in fact, when you believe in what's true, because you have knowledge, so you put your belief behind it, you sort of activate that knowledge, right? But you want receptivity first. You want to receive first. What you believe, you activate. And so whether it's true in the grand sense or not, it'll be true for you. And you'll experience as if it were true. And that can create a lot if what you're believing is not true. It can create a lot of damage and be destructive in your life and destructive in the lives of those around you. I hope you can hear what I'm saying. Again, I speak from my own experience. I've had lots of beliefs be dismantled in my life because I was willing to just listen and willing to consider another person's perspective or point of view, willing to read things I would not normally read, or maybe ahead of time might think that I don't think I'm going to agree with this, or listen to YouTubers who I wouldn't normally listen to. I like to take it all in, and I trust that the truth in me will know the truth when I hear it, and that makes me more true. So stop believing and start receiving. That's where your power is, because all of your true power is in knowledge. Knowledge is all powerful, right? And so, as you live a life of knowledge, you will live a life of purpose. Knowledge comes from beyond the books, beyond the teachers, beyond all that stuff. Are there books and teachers and information that can lead you towards knowledge? Yes, right? But they themselves are not the knowledge. They themselves are not the truth. You know, Bruce Springsteen, if anybody knows who that is anymore, said this once, that he said to trust the art, not the artist, right? There's truth can come through another, can come through a book, or lead you towards something you didn't have awareness about before. But I would say resist believing in a particular organization or a person, or a book or whatever, a religion, or not saying don't be religious or have your religion. Just know that that religion might guide you towards becoming aware of the truth or receiving knowledge or receiving source or God. But it itself is not your God and is not the truth and is not your knowledge. And I'm saying this to the men out there in particular. We are very prone to picking sides, right? I'm going to tell you, you do want to have your crew, you want to have your team, your true team, your truly extraordinary team, the people you join together with under purpose, with intention to create or to cause more truth. That's a very powerful thing to have, right? But not to be against anything. Like, some competition can be fun, play some football or whatever, but we're really not here to compete, right? We're here to collaborate. We're here to come together and make something greater. So join with your team, your crew, the ones that have, been placed around you. Set intentions to create and cause together. Join together under a purpose and trust that knowledge will flow if you invite it. So I hope that's not too esoteric or too out there for you guys. Just trying to bring it home and say, belief isn't necessarily your friend. Um, Being open and receptive and receiving absolutely is. And this is how you will connect with others. You find true union through receptivity, right? We build community through receptivity. Again, that doesn't mean agreement. You can be receptive. You may not agree with anything I'm saying right now, but you can still receive the information and you can still receive me, right? And if you do that, you'll know what's true in what I'm saying and you'll know what isn't. Okay, I don't want to beat that to death, but I'll say this. The words themselves are vehicles. Words are symbols. Every letter is a symbol, and symbols are at least one step removed from the thing you're trying to express or explain or describe, right? So no word will be perfect. And add to that that each and every one of us has our own perspective on each word. So what one word might mean to me might not mean that to you, regardless of the definition of the word. How you hear that word can be very different than how I mean it. But if you intend to receive the truth and you open yourself up to the truth being delivered, that will free me, right? Or anybody else who's trying to bring truth to delivering. through these imperfect vehicles that we call words, right? Thoughts, our ideas, our thoughts. And if you're listening for the truth will find you. It'll find you, and you'll know it when you hear it, when you see it. It'll awaken you. You may not even be able to describe or give words to the truth you know. You'll do your best, but there's a way, there's a thing that you know when you know it. You know, there are no words that can really adequately express or describe what you know. You do your best, right? You do your best. And if others are listening and wanting the truth, they will get the truth out of it. So stop believing, start receiving, and watch how powerful your life becomes. Okay. The world's going to tell you the opposite of what I'm telling you. It's going to tell you you have to grab a belief, hold on to it, fight for your belief, and all that stuff. And I'm saying, no, that's not the truth. And what it is to be a strong, masculine man um, isn't about limitation, right? When you open yourself up and receive, you expand, you become more powerful, not less powerful. Okay. Anybody has any questions about that? You can drop them in the chat. Um, okay. Stop believing, start receiving. Have a great rest of your evening and peace. Talk to you soon.